Hi, Shamara. There we are. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. All righty. Okay, so I was wondering about your reflections on our last session when we met. What were some of your thoughts on how that went and what was working well and what maybe you feel like you want to keep working on that we were touching on last time? What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what we were doing. What were we doing?
Well, so last time we were exploring a little bit with responding off of each other. So we did some repetition,
Oh yeah.
which is the Meisner exercise. So reacting off of one another, really focusing on the other person and responding to what they're doing. We also were talking about sassy, strong characters, and then more like sexy characters as well. So we had a couple scripts. So I went ahead and saved those from last time. And I thought we could kind of touch back on what we were working on since we were a little bit over and we wrapped up. So this is the first script from last time that I think we worked on that one. And then this one, I think we might not have quite gotten to. But do you remember the Meisner exercise where we were making observations about each other? We were responding to each other a little bit more authentically. Yeah, just kind of getting out of your own head and trusting your instincts and going after what your character wants is kind of the big goal there. So, I thought we could take a look at the two scripts from last time. So, this first character, she is a sassy, strong character. And we even talked about some different characters that you felt like this character reminded you of as well, which was pretty cool. So go ahead and take a look through this script, just kind of processing what you're reading and what we've got there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll maybe try a little bit of it. But first, just going through it and thinking through the script and kind of seeing what it's all about.
I definitely remember the beginning, the first one, but I don't think I looked at the second one.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that we got to that one quite last time. So, yeah. Yeah, the second one's the more like sultry,
Hmm.
sexy one, like flirty.
Yes. Yeah. The hard one. Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to happen here? You want to go over the first one again?
Sure, yeah. So as you're reading it, I'm curious, what are some things that stand out to you that that you notice and that kind of give you clues about who this character is and what's happening here? What do you think is going on in this moment? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think for the first one, I was thinking that it was like the competition,
Mm,
a male who thinks that they're better than she is.
sure. I like
Um,
that.
or maybe I think we talked about like a record producer who is trying to maybe um, give her a bad deal or something,
Yeah. Hmm.
something like that.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you feel like? What could be the trigger moment, like the moment that causes you to say this? What could they have said to you, or what could have happened right before this? Some kind of event, or something that happened, like a phone call, or someone said a certain phrase to you. What could have happened right before this?
I think they had I think they had a spat, and he maybe threatened to leave or something like that. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that he's just like, I'm done, I'm out of here. And then when he says that, how does that make you feel in that moment?
I feel like this person is saying it doesn't really matter because she is the main event, you know,
Okay.
like she's got the main character energy, and
Okay. Yeah.
he
Nice.
is um basically riding on her coattails. He just
Mhm.
doesn't realize it because he's wrapped up in his own
Mm.
thoughts.
Okay. Nice. Absolutely. All right. I love it. So let's go ahead um and let's go ahead and try it. When he does that, like, does that make you feel mad? Does it make you feel surprised? Does it make you feel shock? Does it make you feel proud of yourself? Um, does it make you feel fearful? So how do you think your character would feel when he said those things?
Um, probably um kind of like she knew it all along, like a
I like that. Yeah.
vindicated.
So maybe
Um,
like smug a little bit.
yeah, like I've you're this isn't new. I've been thinking about this in regards to you for a long time. You think that you're
Mm.
all that, but you are, you know, you, I'm she's basically angry and taking the moment to finally say what's on her mind.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and try reading through the script then, as though that's our scenario. That's our scene.
Okay. Oh, don't you look at me like that. I know exactly what you're thinking. How does she do it? Grace, style, and a mouth faster than a speeding ticket. It's a gift, darling. And trust me, it takes effort to look this good while telling folks off with a smile. See, I've got a rule. I don't run after buses, men, or bad decisions. And you, my dear, are at least two out of the three. You come in here all high and mighty, like you're the main event. But, sweetie, you ain't even the commercial break. You need me. You just don't know it yet.
Nice. Nice. Good. Okay, good. So, what do you feel like is her journey through the script? If you picked an emotion at the beginning, middle, and end, what would those three emotions be? So we have kind of smug at the start. And then where do you think she goes in the middle?
I think she goes to into education mode.
Ah, like I'm gonna teach you
Let
something
me
here.
teach a little something here, right?
Yeah, nice.
And then in the
Okay.
end, she just wants to break them down after that.
Okay. Yeah. Then so
I
it's
in my mind though, this makes me think like this is like somebody they're in a band together, right?
it could be, yeah.
Like they sing together or they do something together, and
Hmm.
he's just kind of like, I don't need you. I'm gonna go
Mm.
solo, and she's like, go solo. Like you will suffer because I'm the one that's yeah. And
That the
I
audience comes to
got this thing.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like what's the show? Oh, it's Daisy Jones and the Six or something, where it's like they have a band and then she sings a duet with them and then she becomes like the thing that the fans all come to see and like the main guy doesn't really want her there. But it's like she then becomes sort of like the headliner of their band and he's kind of resentful. It's a little bit like that kind of dynamic, I guess, where it was his band and now she's kind of invaded a little bit and he doesn't like it. He doesn't want to share his spotlight.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I feel like, you know, that, they were doing something together. Maybe
Mm.
she was even maybe like a background singer, or like she did the harmonies or something like that. And in the end, she kind of realizes like, no, like I'm actually
Hmm. I'm the draw. I'm the headliner. I'm who they come to
I'm the
see.
headliner here. You
Yeah.
need to support me. Yeah.
I make you better. I make you successful. Yeah. Yeah, the like he threatened to walk or something, like you said, but then she's like, are you kidding? If someone's gonna walk, it's gonna be me. And if you leave, it's gonna be the worst mistake you ever made. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good. So I want you to really think about those three distinct emotions and different moments there. And think about maybe like why she changes. So, like, does he make a face or does he start to walk away and she's trying to stop him? Or, he shrugs it off or he laughs at her. So think of like where the shift happens and why the shift might happen in that spot. Yeah. And then make it a really like sharp, clear shift and change in your tone as a character. Because I definitely was already hearing some of those shifts happen. So I just was wondering if we could make those even more clear of a shift. Yeah. Can we try that again?
Sure. Oh, don't you look at me like that. I know exactly what you're thinking. How does she do it? Grace, style, and a mouth faster than a speeding ticket. It's a gift, darling. And trust me, it takes an effort to look this good while telling folks off with a smile. See, I've got a rule. I don't run after buses, men, or bad decisions. And you, my dear, are at least two out of the three. You come in here all high and mighty, like you're the main event. But, sweetie, you ain't even the commercial break. You need me. You just don't know it yet.
Nice. Very good. Awesome. That felt very different to me there. Like, like at moments a little more aloof, at moments almost even like maybe like placating or condescending, at moments like a little bit flirty, um, like alluring maybe at certain times. So I really liked that. What did you think of it?
I do apologize. Like I think I got a little bit I got distracted because I heard my son try to come in through
Oh,
this door and then he came through this one. So I think I don't even know what happened on the last bit.
that's okay. Yeah. It definitely was different. It definitely came across differently than the other time. So, since you got a little distracted, let's just go ahead and try it one more time.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. Oh, don't you look at me like that. I know exactly. How does she do it? Grace, style, and a mouth faster than a speeding ticket. It's a gift, darling. And trust me, it takes effort to look this good while telling folks off with a smile. See, I've got a rule. I don't run after buses, men, or bad decisions. And you, my dear, are at least two out of three. And you come here all high, mighty, like You're the main event, sweetie. You ain't even the commercial break. You need me. You just don't know it yet.
Okay. What did you think of that one?
That was better. That was
Yeah,
fun.
I thought so too. It seemed a little smoother this time to me. Like your characters seemed a little more smooth. Like like you feel like you've got everything under control. You've got it well in hand. Is kind of what I got there. So what were maybe some of the things that you especially liked about it?
I really did try to think about breaking it up into the three kinds of sections. I'm not sure if
Mm,
that came across, but I really was thinking
nice.
about that. I was trying to pay attention to the punctuation a
Mm,
bit more.
yeah.
I was trying to be sassy and
Okay. I
and
think that came through.
so I was
Nice.
I was
Awesome.
trying to do all the things that we chatted about. So
Very nice. Cool. Okay, good. So then, let's go ahead because we did work on this one a little bit last time. I'd love to tackle the new one today as well. So let's go ahead and look at this second one. So as you read it, what are some characteristics that really stand out to you about this character? And who do you feel like it kind of sounds like, or who does it kind of, remind you of?
I don't know, like a starlet or like Dolly Parton or like
Ah,
somebody just who kind of you know typically is used to people looking at them, but then but like she's seeing this other person. Like,
okay.
yeah, I don't
All
know.
right. Yeah, so somebody that is very confident in themselves and is used to being admired, is used to having attention, um, and so do you like that attention?
I think for sure. I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
definitely
so too, that you kind of like revel in it. Like you're like,
mhm.
yeah, like you enjoy it for sure. If you stopped getting it, I think the character would be displeased about that. And so, what do you feel like are some of the key informational pieces here? Like, what does this seem like would be happening to you?
I think she's being a little coy. I think that she thinks this person is, I don't know, negging her, like,
Mm,
but only because they really are interested. Or
sure.
she thinks she's being handled or manipulated by this person, and
Right.
or he's that's what he's trying to do, and she's just trying to let him
Mm.
know that like he doesn't actually have control, like that she's the one in control here.
Yeah, like that's not going to work on me, mister. I've been around the block a few times. I know what's up here. Yeah, okay, good. So, So, what do you think was the trigger moment, the thing that happened that caused you to say this first thing that you say to him or her?
Mm, maybe this person, like maybe like I'm talking about something and this person's not giving her their full attention, like trying to be aloof. The other person's trying to be aloof.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it could also be like, maybe you're talking and they're not processing what you're saying, Or it could be like you were just up on stage or something and just came down and say hi to them and they're like shocked that you said hello. So they're like speechless, something like that. Like I feel like there are a few different scenarios it could be. Um, but we just, pick one since we don't know for sure what happened right before this, that we just like that scenario and want to play off of it. So, is there a scenario that you especially like the most? Like how old do you think the person you're talking to is, and how old are you? And do you feel like you've seen them before, like you know them, or are they a totally new person that you're just now meeting for the first time?
I think they've met before, but not many times before.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it
Um,
could also be like Mm, like you run the company and they're in awe of you and they're just like a little intern kind of a thing. It could be something like that. I feel like you could pick a lot of different scenarios here for what could be happening. Um, so they're staring at you and then you say this. So when you notice them staring at you, how do you feel about that? Are you like amused by it? Do you think it's weird? Does it make you uncomfortable?
I don't know. Definitely amused and expecting it, clearly.
Hmm.
This person's quite confident, used to being stared at and the main focus of the room.
Mm.
But I think that, yeah, there's something about this other person that they're not reacting the way she normally
Mm.
like she's she's almost like throwing a fit, but in a kind of a sexy way, like
Yeah.
that this person isn't fawning, all over her like usual.
Okay, yeah. So you're like pouting a little bit like, "Well, why aren't you doing that?" Like, I appreciate that. Um, so it's like, if you want to, you can fawn over me or whatever.
Like, yeah,
Um,
or like
yeah,
I know, more than you do. My guess is that this is older person, maybe an older woman. Like, not I'm not like
not old,
yeah,
yeah.
not
Just
old. Sorry, yeah,
older than the person you're talking to.
older than the person, and then but there's something different about the person that she's talking to. Like, they've got some sort of that aloof kind of feel going, and she's like just kind of reacting to that.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, and it sounds like maybe you're kind of intrigued by that. Like you're a little confused by them because it's not what you were expecting or how people usually act around you. So you're kind of intrigued and are like, I want to know more about you.
Yeah,
So it made you kind of curious about the other person.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Let's try that.
Okay. Oh, sweetheart. Sorry, this is not how I wanted it to be. I was like,
That's all right.
I was like,
Try
that's not how. Stop.
again.
Okay. Oh, sweetheart, you're staring. That's all right. I don't mind. I've been stared at my whole life. What happens when you walk into the room like you own it? Believe me, I do. But you're different, aren't you? You're like a little danger, a little mystery. You think you could handle me. Oh, darling, that's adorable. So tell me, love, are you feeling lucky?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I get the feeling that you're kind of like a little bit of a, like flirting with a little bit younger guy. Maybe you're, I don't know, like a little cougary there, but not like crazy. It doesn't have to be a crazy difference, but at least
Yeah.
like you're more successful than they are or something. Um, but also like it seems like your character, I mean, you call them like dangerous. So it makes me think like, maybe you both work for the same company or something and you're not supposed to fraternize with each other, something like that, where it's like, it's a little taboo, but you're like, it might be fun for a night kind of thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
This
you
is
could,
like that new Nicole Kidman movie. I don't know if you saw that show.
oh yeah, I saw the like ads for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it with Zac Efron, right? Like there's like a romance thing, like
Oh
the
no, 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 no. This is like one that
oh.
was up for an Oscar. She won the Golden
Oh.
Globe for. Or did she
Oh,
win?
okay. I don't know. I saw there was like a trailer for one with like
Yeah, I know.
her and Zac
Yeah, that's
Efron kind of a
apparently
thing.
this is her thing. The last couple movies is her, getting with some young guy. But Milk, I think, is the name of the.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen either of them, so I'll have to look them up. Especially if it won some awards, it's got to be good. Yeah, I'll have to check that
It's a
out.
little bit out there. A warning, warning.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Good to know.
warning, warning, warning. We like to try to watch all the Oscar nominated ones,
Yeah.
but she reminds me of this. What she's saying here reminds me of her with this guy,
Yeah.
in the beginning. So
Okay.
yeah,
Neat. Yeah, so you have a nice clear concept of the situation and kind of the relationship between the two. I think that's awesome. Yeah, because having a clear character inspiration sometimes can really help you solidify the situation and the character, especially if it's a character who's really different than you and that's kind of that you go like, oh, I don't think I would ever be in this situation or whatnot. I really find that can help to clarify for yourself to go, this is the circumstance, this is the personality, this is what's happening. Um, so I love that you've got that. So then, yeah, I was thinking, it could be something like he's the son of, your old friend, or he's like somebody that works at the same company and you're not supposed to, have interdepartmental relationships. Like there's something that makes this a little bit like a no-no kind of a thing, or like you went on a date with his dad in the past kind of a thing. Because you talk about him being dangerous, or it could just be something like, he rode up on his motorcycle and he's in a leather jacket smoking a cigarette. So you can kind of decide for yourself. But I feel like you could kind of lean into that a little bit more because clearly she's like to me, I'm like, is she a little bit bored, that she wants to kind of shake things up a little bit and do something that she's like, I know it's probably not the best idea, but
yeah,
I'm
I
bored.
definitely
Let's
think.
let's go for it. Yeah. So if we did it again, what do you think is maybe the number one thing that you might try tweaking or changing with this?
Um, I don't know. I just have a really hard time trying to be like sultry, and I feel like she's kind of just very like, oh, you're different, and
Hmm.
it's just so not me. So I'm
Yeah.
very much reaching for this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I just have to what
Another approach could be that maybe like, I don't know, you went on like a girls' trip, you and your girlfriends from college go away for a weekend or something, and you just like we had a bad breakup or something, and they're like, "Oh, go flirt with that guy. I saw him staring at you." And then you could even be like awkward about it. Like you're like, "Man, I haven't been on a date in a decade and I don't know what I'm doing." So you could be like a little tipsy and a little awkward, but it's like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to him, you know? So you could play it like that too. You know, you could do something different with it that's like, okay, this wouldn't be something I usually would do. But if I did do it, what could be a potential circumstance where I might do that, right? Um, so I always like to kind of go, okay, so yeah, this isn't like my typical normal self, but if I did do this, you know, what would be the reason for it? Or I'll go, you know, who's a person I know that would do this and
Yeah.
would be natural for them? And can I sort of, you know, put myself in their shoes? Like if I unzipped their body and like stepped into it, zipped it back up, like I'm putting on a coat and then I'm living in their body, right? Um, you know, what do I think they might do? And can I sort of like explore those choices and those actions a little bit? So I feel like you could play with it multiple different ways. And I think especially when it's something you're not really comfortable with and you haven't really explored or experienced in life, um, you know, acting is a safe place to experiment and to, you know, try experiencing things that you otherwise wouldn't experience in life and go, okay, so if I was hypothetically in this experience, or if I was hypothetically, you know, living in this person's shoes, and it can kind of give you different perspective too. So just kind of like playing with it a little bit more and experimenting. And if you flop, you go, okay, well, I tried that. Didn't work so great. Moving on. You know, where it's just like, I'll try this and then I'll try that. And just sort of getting comfortable with stretching yourself and sort of breaking out of your comfort zone and, you know, breaking out of your shell a bit more. So why don't we try, since you have such a clear vision with Nicole Kidman, let's try the way you think that she would do it if this was her playing this character.
I apologize because we had a drop in connection. Well, you said let's play like whom? I'm sorry.
Oh, like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
just the way that you imagine that she would do it, just kind of play with it a little bit. And if you flop, it's okay. It's just experimenting.
oh sweetheart, you're staring. That's all right. I don't mind. I've been stared at my whole life. What happens when you walk into the room like you own it? And believe me, I do. You, you're different, aren't you? You're like a little danger, a little mystery. You think you can handle me. Oh, darling, it's adorable. So tell me, love, are you feeling lucky?
Okay, that was totally different that time. Did it feel weird for you? Did it feel kind of exhilarating? Did it feel kind of icky? What do you think?
a little icky. No, yeah, it was definitely weird, but I think it's fun. I think all of these are fun, and it's more just being getting used to the words and trying it, a bunch of different ways to see how,
Yeah.
what works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, I like that it's it sounds like it's almost just like play, you know, like it's that sense of play and um you know, just like a child who's using their imagination, right? And just if you approach it with that sense of play, it's like, okay, even if I, you know, stumble or totally flop, it's okay because I'm just having fun. So I really like that approach that it's like, we're just gonna try it. And just being open with it, I think is great. And what's cool is, you know, I'll see things in you that I'm like, oh, I don't think I've ever seen that facial expression on you before, or you know, I've never heard your voice sound like that before. So it's really cool to see these sides of you that maybe you don't even know are there yet, you know? So I think it's really fun. And I feel like too, as you as an actor explore all these different emotions and scenarios and characters, you get so much more comfortable with yourself and going, you know, I have explored all these different things and I know really solidly who I am and feel really strong in who I am. So it's interesting, but I feel like by playing all these different characters, you get even more strong and, certain of yourself, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that was really cool because I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever, seen you do anything quite like that before. So it was kind of like a whole new experience for me watching it. Do you feel like it was a fun character to play? Like, what was maybe your favorite thing about the character?
I mean, I like confident people. I like confident
Yeah.
women. So I think I am drawn, like I wish I was like that a bit more, you know? So I
Yeah.
think it's kind of nice to be able to pretend.
Mm. I like that. Yeah. So the confidence really is inspiring you and that you're drawn to that. And it maybe is empowering for you as well to play that character and go, if I was this confident, what would I be like? I think that's a really cool way to look at that. Really cool. So I would love to see, if we experiment with more characters who are really strong, strong female lead character types that are just very confident in themselves, very confident in their choices. Um, and, it could be confident women in all different walks of life at different times in their life with, different emotions and different scenarios. But I think that could be really fun to play with. It's just a whole bunch of different strong female lead type characters. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it could be fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to make a note of that for myself.
Me too.
And who are some maybe actors or characters from certain shows that you feel like are really strong women that are really inspiring or kind of iconic to you?
I mean, of course, like Viola Davis's
Oh, she's
character
amazing.
is like
Yeah.
so strong. I don't
Hmm.
think, but I don't know if I can pull off, that much strength. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because I was just watching How to Get Away with Murder. So I just was watching her the other day. So that's cool that you mentioned her. Oh yeah, she's amazing, iconic. Um, I love Queen Latifah in like the Beauty Shop movie, or like I love her in Hairspray, like in a whole bunch of her roles. I think she's a really good like powerhouse kind of woman. Who is it that I'm thinking of? Meryl Streep plays some really great, strong female lead characters. Who are other people that you can think of?
play strong female.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like what are some movies or like shows that you really love? Because that'll affect like who some of the characters are too. Because like it could be people like, Aaron Brockovich is such a strong female lead character. Like Hermione in Harry Potter is a really strong female character. Or like Katniss in Hunger Games, really strong female lead. Um, somebody like some shows just kind of revolve around strong women, like Fried Green Tomatoes or like Hidden Figures. It's just like a bunch of strong women. Like the whole movie is strong women. We've got some strong females, like in shows
Sex
like
and
The
the
Hunger
City.
Games or
Yep.
like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a strong female character. I feel like you can find them in a lot of different shows and movies. Um, maybe like Killing Eve. It's like a spy thriller with Sandra Oh. She's a really strong female lead in that. Um,
I mean, even superheroes, right? Like, or like
superheroes.
what is her name? Scarlett Johansson usually plays a
Mhm.
strong
She
character.
does, yeah. She plays some really strong
That's like a
characters.
yeah.
I love in Scandal, Olivia is a really
Oh
good,
yeah,
strong
what's her
lead.
name?
In the Winona Earp show, Winona is a really strong character that's a female lead. Or like Alias with Jennifer Garner. She's like, the spy, double spy. So that's a really good one. Or like, I feel like Olivia Benson from Law and Order is like a really iconic, strong female lead. Or like X-Files, Scully
Oh,
is a really strong female character. Superhero things like Jessica Jones, that TV show, the main character is a really strong character. Mm. Or like Cookie in Empire. She's a really strong character. 11 in Stranger Things, like she's a child, but she's still like a pretty strong female lead. Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of, strong female characters. I watched a little bit of The Spanish Princess, so like Catherine of Aragon, the who did she marry? Henry the Eighth.
oh,
Yeah. So like she's a strong female character in that. Yeah, I feel like there are a lot. So maybe just kind of brainstorm over the next week and like watch things and like look for those strong female characters and just kind of observe like who are they? What are, common traits that they share? And um how do they carry themselves? How do they talk to people? How do they walk? What kind of facial expressions do they make? What's their posture? How do they, gesture? How do they turn? And just kind of making some observations about them. Just over the next week, really pay attention to that. It could also be strong women in life, strong women you encounter in life as well. If you know like a lady who is a litigator who's like, really strong and stands up for herself and other people in court, or if you know someone who's like a manager and like runs a whole company, or, somebody who goes to the gym and she can like outlift all the guys. So just kind of looking around in the world too for those strong women characters. I remember there was a lady that I knew like a decade ago who was in a film acting class with me. And I was like, man, she is fierce. She's so cool. I found out like she was a cop, and I was like, oh, that's why she's like so strong and like built and stuff. And now she's like been in Marvel movies and stuff. Like I just was like in the theater multiple times in the last couple of years and was just like, oh, I know her. Which is really fun. But like she's a person that in real life I really admired and was like, she's a really fierce, strong woman. And I just so admire her. So to like randomly be sitting in Ant-Man and be like, I know that person,
that's pretty
at the
cool.
theater, was really cool. And to be like, oh, like she's really, doing well with her movies. She recently did something where like I think Kristen Stewart, the like Twilight girl, was a lead with her in it and stuff. And so like I'm just really excited to see her do well, but that's an example of a person that I always like every time I was around her, I was like, man, she's so cool. Like I just was like, man, she's fierce, she's strong, she's cool, like confident and just like owns her, feels comfy in her own skin. I just always thought she was so cool. Um, and so yeah, I'll be like, oh, there's Katie in a thing. And so like finding people in life too that you go, oh, I really admire this person. Like thinking back, I've had teachers that I really admired or like people that I worked with. There's a lady who's a neuroscientist that I know that I really admire. So thinking of, just women that are really strong women that you admire and just traits that they seem to have in common and what you can kind of observe in them that gives them that aura of like strong woman. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So we'll explore that more next time. Great
Sounds.
work today, Shamara.
Thank
This
you.
was really fun. I love seeing you stretch yourself like that. It's really cool. I know it feels weird at first, but it was really neat to see you just kind of explore things that are so different and, kind of stretching yourself outside your comfort zone and trying totally new things. Really fun. So keep
Awesome.
up the good work and I'll see you next Tuesday.
I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you.
Bye, Shammara. Absolutely. Thank you.